You know, there are some stories that do more than just give you a good scare. They get under your skin and they stay there. We're about to dive into one of those tales, an old piece of folklore all about a thirst for revenge so powerful it literally refuses to die. So, at the very heart of this story is a truly chilling idea. A Diane, this powerful witch-like figure from Indian folklore, well, she never, ever forgets. Her revenge isn't just for this life. Oh no, it's a patient, endless hunt that can stretch across generations. And that one terrifying concept is what drives everything we're about to uncover. All right, so our story kicks off the way the best horror stories always do, on a dark, lonely evening. And this is where we meet our main character, Naveen, a guy who is about to stumble into a nightmare that he can never wake up from. I want you to just picture this for a second. Naveen is completely lost. He's somewhere in the mountains, he's desperate for a job, and he has absolutely no money. And to top it all off, this thick, bone-chilling fog rolls in, so dense he can't even see his own hand in front of his face. He's lost, he's cold, and he is completely and utterly vulnerable. Just when he thinks things can't get any worse, a figure just sort of materializes out of the fog. It's a Baba, like a holy man, but there is nothing holy about this guy. He's just sitting there under this huge tree, and his eyes are glowing like red-hot coals in the dark. Now, seeing another person should be a relief, right? But for Naveen, it's the start of a whole new kind of fear. The Baba gives Naveen directions to get out of the mountains, but they come with this really strange, really chilling warning. He says, follow this path, don't stop, and whatever you do, do not look around. I mean, that instruction alone just plants this seed of dread. Why would he say that? And that's the question just hanging in the air, isn't it? Naveen is too scared to ask, but you can feel his terror. Why can't he look back? What could possibly be out there in the fog with him? Honestly, the warning itself is way more terrifying than the silence. So, following the Baba's path doesn't just lead Naveen out of the fog, it leads him straight to a job offer. For a guy who has nothing, this feels like a miracle. But he's about to find out that this job comes with a heavy price, and the rules are just as creepy as the guy who sent him there. He ends up at this run-down old bungalow, and an old woman hires him on the spot. The pay is great, but her rules are odd, to say the least. Rule number 1, do your work and keep your mouth shut. No questions. Rule 2, don't touch a single thing in the house that isn't part of your job. And Rule 3, the weirdest one of all, never, ever walk behind her. I mean, every single one of these is a giant red flag. The second he steps inside, that feeling of unease turns into pure dread. The place is like a museum of creepy artifacts. There are strange objects everywhere. Little mirrors are tucked into every corner, almost like they're meant to watch something, or maybe keep something away. And then he sees them. Dozens of these crude black cloth dolls hanging all over the walls, with this red stuff, almost like blood, seeping out of their eyes. After a week of this, the old woman gives Naveen one final job. She hands him a potly. It's a small, tightly wrapped bundle of cloth, and tells him to deliver it to a man back in his own village, a guy named Balwant Singh. Seems easy enough for a little extra money, right? He has absolutely no idea he's just agreed to be a messenger of death. And this is it. This one simple delivery is the thing that sets it all off. With this little bundle in his hands, Naveen unknowingly brings a wave of pure horror back to his home. And the first person it's going to hit is the man it's intended for. So Naveen delivers the potly, but Balwant Singh's reaction is not what he expected. The man opens the bundle, and this scream of just pure terror rips out of him. All the blood just drains from his face. He shoves the potly back at Naveen, yelling at him to take it and get out, to never come back. What in the world could be in that bundle? The very next day, word spreads like wildfire through the village. Balwant Singh and his wife, they've been found dead inside their home, and the doors were locked from the inside. But here's the thing. This wasn't natural. Their bodies were discovered twisted, contorted into these impossible, gruesome shapes. And then a villager, trying to describe the scene, says something that sends a shiver right down your spine. He says their bodies were twisted, almost as if someone had taken a cloth doll and just wrung it out. The exact same kind of dolls Naveen saw covering the walls in that old bungalow. So now Naveen is caught in the middle of this nightmare, and he can't make sense of any of it. He starts trying to piece it all together, the old woman, that cursed bundle, and a danger that is getting much, much closer to home. Back at his place, Naveen's wife, Urvashi, gets a little too curious while he's asleep and decides to open the potly. But there's no treasure inside. It's a black magic kit. There are strands of hair, a few tiny bones, and a single black doll smeared with red sindoor powder. This is stuff used for a really dark ritual. Naveen panics. He rushes back to the bungalow and breaks in, only to find it totally empty. But he does find something new. Among all the old dolls, there's a new one hanging there. And its clothes? They're a perfect tiny replica of the sari his wife Urvashi was wearing just that day. And in that one moment, he understands. His wife is next. Finally, a local villager spills the whole terrifying story. Turns out, that bungalow has been abandoned for 50 years. It belonged to a Diane, and her incredible power was sealed away when a tantric, a kind of mystic, managed to cut off her braid, which was the source of all her magic. And the old woman Naveen worked for? Yeah, that was the Diane herself. And then it all clicks into place with this final, horrifying realization. The Diane was after the tantric who trapped her all those years ago. Balwant Singh, the man he delivered the Pali to, was that tantric. Naveen had just hand-delivered the Diane's revenge right to his front door. But the story doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. A Diane's revenge is a cycle, and now that her original enemy is gone, the curse needs a new way to continue its reign of terror. Naveen races home, just praying he isn't too late. But he is. He walks in to find an absolutely unimaginable scene of horror. His wife, Urvashi, is dead, and her body is broken and twisted in the exact same awful way as Balwant Singh and his wife. The curse has found his family. That night, while Naveen is just sitting there, completely broken, there's a knock at the door. He opens it, and standing in the darkness is the old woman, the Diane. She looks at him, and her voice just echoes in the silence with a simple, chilling statement. She who lets go is not a Diane. Her revenge isn't finished. And in that instant, Naveen understands his horrible fate. He didn't escape. The Diane didn't just use him. She chose him. He is now her instrument, a pawn who is trapped in her never-ending cycle of vengeance, and he'll be forced to carry out her dark work. And that's where the story leaves us, with this truly haunting thought. Naveen isn't just a victim anymore. He is now a part of the curse, destined to deliver the next bundle of death. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? When a grudge is so powerful that it can't die, who or what does it pick as its next vessel to keep all that hatred alive?